Next, I would spend $300,000 in what we call the expert opinion study. And the expert opinion study this is how most of medicine functions, right? So most of medicine is actually based on expert opinion. You get a bunch of people together and you go through some sort of process to get some consensus. Most of medicine is not built on the prospective comparative outcome trials we all dream it would be. It isn't. So what we would do is interview basically 150 people of the people who have been for decades each helping people with this stuff. Emergent phenomenology, psychedelics, meditation, sweat lodges, indigenous practices, whatever, right? So you've got the Emma Bragdons and the Joseph Goldsteins and the jungle shamans and the ayahuasqueros and the, all of these people, the backroom trip sitters in Amsterdam and, but they've spent decades. They know what's out there. They know the range. They've seen it for themselves. They have their favorite things that they think help. They have their ways of conceptualizing this. Right. And then we just do super long form interviews, hours and hours and hours. What do you see? How do you deal with it? And basically ask them, if we give you a blank chapter that you could just write in the textbooks used for board certification in emergency medicine, psychiatry, and psychology, what would you write that you think is ready for clinical prime time, that you think every clinician across the globe should know? Please tell me that, right? What would you put in it? And then we take 150 of those, we see where the areas of consensus are. Like everybody agrees heavy diet is going to help ground people down or something. I don't know if that's true. I just, maybe, right? Maybe it's just as a possible example, and then maybe there's real disagreement on how to deal with like some of the dark, challenging stuff. Right. Maybe there's like, no, you should totally be doing this. Nope, you should totally never do that. You should absolutely do this. You should totally do body-based practices. No, you should not do it because that's where the trauma is or whatever. Right. And then we take these honest areas of controversy where experts, kind, well-meaning experts in the field who have collectively thousands of years and, and hundreds of thousands of patients experience between them. What do they disagree on? Those are the things we need to then go forward with prospective comparative trials and say, because there's probably situations in which both sides are true, right? And then how do we differentiate when we do this one, when we do that one? Or maybe some people are just wrong. They've been doing something for years that it turns out is just not helpful, right? And then we can actually determine that. And so that's the expert opinion study. And that we would then take the recommendations from that and hand them to the people, say, this is literally the best we've got right now. We think this is better than what you have in your textbooks. I would guarantee it would be, right? That I would bet everything I have. It would be better than what's in the current textbooks now. And say, here are your diagnostic criteria, categories we need. Here's your diagnosis and management strategies. Here's your algorithms. Here's your trees. And here's the pathway for further research.